For the final chart demonstration, I want to create a category chart that displays the total revenue by state, and then within each state by the stock description. You can think of a similar thing. We could have done it with the previous method if we wanted one chart per state, but this time we still want to come out with a single graph or a single chart, and on that single chart we wanted to track the revenue by state, but then within each state by the stock description. So let's start by creating a new empty report. We need to save this report. We're going to save it in that same bin directory, and we're going to give it the name of mygraph3.4rp. We're going to save it within the reports virtual folder. MyGraph3 has been added. Now let me open my Data View tab, associate my RDD file. Now let me go to my toolbox, and this time I'm going to add a category chart. So let me ensure that my page route is selected. I double click on category chart, and similar as we had before, we have a category chart and then we have the category chart item. Let's start by looking at the category chart. I'm going to want to give it a new name, and I'm going to call this category chart, and this is going to be the revenue by state by stock description. I need to now go down into my chart titling, and so the title overall, I'm going to say revenue by state and by stock description. Under the keys, I'm going to enter in state. Under the values, I want it to say revenue. And then under the categories within the state, that's going to be the stock description. I'll leave it as a bar chart for right now. Let's go ahead and then go and look at our category items. So the category items, we have to say what was the key going to be. Well, the key is going to be the state name. So I can again open up my function, my RTL expression editor. It's going to be data.state.stateName. I want to apply a trim function to this. Under the value, what am I going to be summarizing for this? And it's going to be, again, that data.items.quantity times the data.items.price. And the last thing is my categories within the key. What is that going to be? And in this case, it's going to be my data.items, actually data.stock.description. And again, I always want to apply a trim when I'm printing these out. I click OK. So I have what my major category is going to be, the state. I have what my category within it is going to be. It's going to be by the stock description. Let me go to my report structure now. And inside of the report structure, I want a single chart, so I'm going to move my store number trigger underneath the category chart. And then I'm going to move my category chart item underneath my on every row trigger. We're going to save our newly created chart. We're going to go back to our project, open up our report main, ensure that we're calling mygraph3, we're calling the right report, save, recompile or rebuild. And once the build is done, we're going to go and execute. We execute, the report gets run, and as you can see, we have the 3 states. In our case, the states within each state, we have the revenue according to faucets, light bulbs, sinks, stoppers, and bolts. If I expand this out, I'm going to have to expand this out far, and this is just an issue with our data. But you can see it does provide the values. So I have my blue and my green lines as well. They're just not as plentiful on this actual chart.